"Your dark-skinned wife isn't welcome at Christmas," my mom said, while my sister and her husband laughed. I said nothing. That night I revealed our family's darkest secret to the police. By morning, special forces stormed their door. "Your dark-skinned wife isn't welcome at Christmas." My mother said it like she was commenting on the weather. We were in her living room, the Christmas tree lights blinking red and green in the corner. The fireplace crackling smell of cinnamon and pine filling the air. Garland hung over the mantel stockings with our names stitched in gold thread hanging below. My sister Claire sat on the couch with her husband Mark, both holding wine glasses, both smiling. I was standing by the tree phone in my hand. I'd just shown them a photo of Maya, my wife of 6 months. Beautiful, radiant dark skin glowing in the sunlight of the picture, smiling so wide, excited about her first Christmas with my family. Claire laughed. That sharp, cruel laugh she'd had since we were kids, the one that meant someone was about to get hurt. Mark raised his glass. Finally, someone said it. I stood there, phone still in my hand, the photo of Maya still on the screen, her smile frozen there. "What?" I said quietly. "You heard me," Mom said. She was sitting in Dad's old chair, the leather one by the fire, the one nobody else was allowed to sit in, sipping her wine, not even looking at me, staring at the fire like this was a normal conversation. "This is a family holiday. She's not family. We're married. Doesn't matter. She doesn't fit in. You know it. We know it. Don't make this awkward, David." The fire popped. Sparks flew up the chimney. The Christmas tree lights kept blinking. Red, green, red, green. Claire leaned forward, red wine sloshing in her glass. "Come on, David, be reasonable. You can come. Just leave her home. Tell her you're sick or something, or that we're having a small gathering this year. Just immediate family. She'll understand." "She is immediate family. She's my wife." "She's a mistake," Mom said finally, looking at me, her eyes cold hard. "And mistakes don't get a seat at my table." Mark laughed again, took a sip of wine, swirled it in his glass. "Should have married someone from the club, someone appropriate, someone who fits our lifestyle. You know what I mean." I knew exactly what he meant. The room felt smaller, suddenly hotter. The smell of cinnamon was overwhelming, sickening. I looked at all three of them, their faces, so comfortable, so sure of themselves, so certain I'd agree, like this was reasonable, like this was normal, like they were doing me a favor. Mom set down her wine glass. "We're not trying to be difficult, we're just being honest. She wouldn't be comfortable here anyway. Different backgrounds, different everything. It's better for everyone this way." "Better for who?" "For all of us, including her. Can you imagine how awkward it would be? The questions, the looks. We'd all be walking on eggshells." "You mean you'd have to pretend not to be racist?" Claire gasped. "That's not fair. We're not racist. We just have standards. There's a difference." "Is there?" Mark set down his glass. "Look, man, we're family. We're looking out for you. This marriage was a mistake. Everyone knows it. We're just trying to save you from embarrassment." "The only thing I'm embarrassed about is you three." Mom's face hardened. "Watch your tone. I'm still your mother." I didn't yell, didn't argue, didn't defend Maya the way I should have. I just nodded once. "Okay," I said. Mom smiled, relieved, picked up her wine glass again. "Good. I'm glad you understand. We knew you'd see reason eventually. You always do." "I always do," I repeated. Claire raised her glass. "Cheers to that. Family first. Always family first." Mark clinked his glass against hers. "Absolutely. Blood over everything." I walked through the house I grew up in, past the photos on the walls, family photos, all of us smiling, all of us white. Walked to my car. The cold December air bit at my face. My breath came out in clouds. My hands were shaking. I sat in the driver's seat, hands on the wheel, staring at nothing. 29 years I'd been part of this family. 29 years of their quiet racism, their hidden prejudice, their careful cruelty, and I'd said nothing, done. Nothing, just nodded and smiled and went along. Not anymore. I drove home. Maya was in the kitchen when I walked in, baking cookies, wearing her red apron, the one with snowflakes on it that she'd bought specifically for Christmas, humming Christmas carols. The apartment smelled like sugar and vanilla and home. "How'd it go?" she asked, turning to me, flower on her cheek, smiling so wide, so hopeful. "Do they like the wine we picked? Was that the right choice? I wasn't sure." "Fine," I said. "They're excited to meet you." Her face lit up. She practically ran over, hugged me, got flour on my shirt. I didn't care. "I'm so nervous," I want them to like me so badly. I've been practicing conversation topics. I made a list. Do you think that's weird? It's probably weird, but I just want to make a good impression. They'll love you. I lied. The words tasted like ash in my mouth. She pulled back calmly, looked at me, her dark eyes searching mine, reading me the way she always could. You okay? You seem quiet. Did something happen? Just tired. Long day. Go sit. I'll bring you cookies when they're done and hot chocolate with the marshmallows you like. She kissed my cheek, went back to the oven. I watched her, this beautiful, kind, brilliant woman. This woman who'd chosen to love me, who'd said yes when I proposed, who'd built a life with me and my family, had just told me she wasn't welcome because of her skin color. That night she fell asleep on my chest, happy, content, dreaming about Christmas dinner, about meeting my family, about being accepted, about belonging. I lay awake staring at the ceiling, listening to her breathe, thinking. My family had always been this way. Quiet racism, hidden prejudice, nothing obvious, nothing they'd ever admit to, nothing they could be called out for, but I'd seen it my whole life. I'd just never done anything about it. When I dated a black girl in high school, Jasmine, her name was Jasmine, Mom suddenly had concerns about my grades, said I was distracted, that the relationship was taking me away from my future, that I needed to focus. Jasmine was valedictorian, straight A's, full scholarship to Stanford. I was barely top 20, B- average, but Mom said she was the distraction. When Claire's friend brought her Indian boyfriend to a barbecue 3 years ago, Mark made jokes about curry all night, asked if he could handle real food, asked if his parents owned a 7-Eleven, asked if he needed a fork or if he was used to eating with his hands. Everyone laughed, thought it was hilarious. The boyfriend left early, never came back. When Dad was alive, he'd start sentences with, "I'm not racist, but," and then say something incredibly racist. "I'm not racist, but you have to admit they're more violent." "I'm not racist, but I wouldn't want them in my neighborhood. Property values, you know." "I'm not racist, but there's a reason they're all on welfare." They were careful though. Never used slurs in public. Never got caught saying anything too obvious. Never left evidence. Just enough deniability, just enough cover. We're not racist. We're just realistic. We're not racist. We're just honest. We're not racist. We just have standards. But this banning my wife from Christmas because of her skin color, this was beyond their usual coded language, beyond their dog whistles. This was explicit, undeniable, cruel. Something cold settled in my chest, something calculating, something final. The next morning I told Maya I needed to run errands. She was making a list of gifts to bring to Christmas hostess gifts. Wine, chocolate, flowers, homemade cookies. "I want to make a good first impression," she said. "Your mom likes lilies, right?" I wrote that down. "And your sister prefers red wine to white?" "You will," I said. "They'll love you." Another lie. The words came easier this time. I drove to my storage unit, the one I'd rented after Dad died 18 months ago, the one with all his old files and documents, the one Maya didn't know about Unit 247 climate, controlled 24-hour access. Dad ran a construction company, Parker & Sons, founded by his father in 1952. 40 employees, big contracts, government buildings, schools, libraries, bridges, public works. After he died, I'd been the executor of his estate. Had to sort through everything, his office, his files, his computers, his accounts, his safe deposit boxes. That's when I found things, terrible things. I'd kept them, not sure why. At the time, insurance, maybe leverage protection, or maybe just shock, not knowing what to do with information that could destroy my entire family, that could put my mother and sister in prison, that could end everything. Now I knew exactly why I'd kept them. I opened the boxes, pulled out files, bank statements, emails, invoices, contracts, account records. Dad had been skimming, stealing, defrauding for years, decades. Fake invoices from shell companies he controlled, overbilling government contracts by 15 to 20%, paying workers under the table to pocket the difference, tax evasion on a massive scale, money laundering through multiple offshore accounts. And Mom knew. She was on the accounts, signed documents, co-owned the shell. Look, companies benefited from every stolen dollar, lived on the proceeds. Claire too. She'd worked for Dad since college, director of finance, handled invoicing, processed payments, covered tracks, deleted emails, shredded documents, created false records. Mark, he was the accountant, the facilitator, set up the shell companies in Delaware. In the Cayman Islands, moved the money offshore. Filed false tax returns, created fake paper trails, made it all look legitimate. All three of them, all complicit, all guilty. I'd found everything after Dad died, 20 years of evidence, clear, undeniable damning. The scheme started small, padding invoices by few percentage points, skimming a little here and there. Then it grew bigger contracts, bigger margins, bigger risks. By the end, they were stealing hundreds of thousands per year, millions total. I'd kept it quiet when Dad died. Family loyalty, not wanting to destroy Mom while she was grieving, not wanting to see Claire go to prison, not wanting to be the one who tore the family apart. I told myself I was being merciful, being kind, being a good son and brother, but really I'd just been a coward. Not anymore. They'd banned my wife from Christmas because of her skin color. Family loyalty died right there. I took photos of everything, every document, every bank statement, every email, every invoice, every contract, every account record, hundreds of photos, thousands of pages, organized them by date, by type, by amount, by relevance, created a timeline, a narrative, a story that any prosecutor could follow. Then I went home, told Maya the errands took longer than expected, helped her finish the cookies. That night I uploaded everything to an encrypted cloud drive, made 3 backup copies on external hard drives, hid one at work in my locked filing cabinet, one at my friend's house in his garage, one in a safety deposit box at a different bank than the one my family used. Then I called a number I'd saved 18 months ago when I first found the files, when I first realized what Dad had done, what they'd all done, FBI Financial Crimes, Division, Federal Plaza, Manhattan Field Office. I have information about a large-scale fraud case, I said. What kind of fraud, sir? Government contract fraud, tax evasion, money laundering over 20 years, $23 million in total. Silence on the other end. Can you send us what you have? Yes, immediately. I have everything organized, documents, bank records, emails, the entire paper trail. What's your relationship to the subjects? I took a breath. They're my family, my mother, my sister, my brother-in-law. Another pause, longer this time. Are you willing to testify, to be a witness? This will destroy your family relationships. You understand that? Yes, they destroyed them first. Hold, please. Music played. I waited, stared at nothing. 2 minutes later, a different voice, deeper, more authoritative. Mr. Parker, this is Special Agent Rodriguez. I'm the supervising agent for white-collar crimes. I understand you have evidence of a major fraud case? Yes. I'm going to need you to send everything you have to a secure email address. Everything. Don't leave anything out. Can you do that tonight? Yes. Right now if you want. Do it. I'll wait. My team will review it immediately. If this is what you say it is, we'll need to move fast before they destroy evidence before they run. He gave me the email address. I sent everything while he waited on the line. 20 minutes of uploading, compressing files, organizing folders. Done, I said. Hold. I heard typing, clicking, voices in the background. 10 minutes passed. Then he came back on. Mr. Parker, this is substantial. This is a major case. Multiple federal charges, wire fraud, tax evasion, money laundering. This is years of prison time. Are you absolutely certain about this? Once we move forward, there's no going back. I'm certain. We'll execute warrants on Christmas Eve, early morning, multiple locations simultaneously. Your mother's residence, your sister's residence, the business office. We'll need your formal statement that day. Can you be available? Yes. Don't contact them. Don't warn them. Don't give them any indication this is coming. Can you do that? Yes. Good. We'll be in touch. Check your email for details on when and where to give your statement. He hung up. I sat there, phone in my hand, heart pounding. Then I deleted the call from my log, cleared my browser history, locked my phone. Maya was in the living room watching a Christmas movie, Elf her favorite. Come watch with me, she called. I did. Sat next to her, held her hand, pretended everything was normal. 3 days passed. I went to work, came home, had dinner with Maya, wrapped presents, watched Christmas movies, decorated the tree, pretended everything was fine. Mom called once. Don't forget Christmas Eve, 6 p.m. Just you and don't be late. We're starting dinner at 7 sharp. I'll be there, I lied. The lie came so easily now. Claire texted. Can't wait to see you. Glad you came to your senses. Maya would have been so uncomfortable anyway. Trust me, you're doing her a favor. She'll thank you eventually. I didn't respond, just deleted the message. Mark sent a message. Bring that whiskey you got last year. The Macallan 18. Good stuff. We'll need it for dealing with Mom's cooking. I deleted it without reading it fully. Christmas Eve, morning 5:47 a.m. My phone rang. Unknown number. I got up carefully, didn't wake Maya, went to the bathroom, closed the door. Yes, Mr. Parker? Yes. This is Special Agent Rodriguez, FBI. We're executing warrants now. Multiple locations. Your mother's residence, your sister's residence, and the business office. Simultaneous raids. Thought you'd want to know. Thank you. We'll need your formal statement later today. Can you come to the field office around 2 p.m.? Federal Plaza. Ask for me at the desk. I'll be there. This is good work, Mr. Parker. This is going to put some very bad people away for a very long time. I hung up, got dressed quietly. Jeans, black shirt jacket. Maya was still sleeping. Peaceful, beautiful, one arm draped across my side of the bed. I left a note on my pillow. Went for a drive. Need to clear my head. Back soon. Love you. I drove to Mom's house, the house I grew up in, the house with the big Christmas tree visible through the front window. 20-minute drive. I parked across the street, one house down. Good view. Police cars everywhere, FBI vans, black SUVs, agents in tactical gear, FBI windbreakers, some with rifles, neighbors standing on their lawns in robes and pajamas, phones out recording, taking photos, calling each other. I watched. They led Mom out first in handcuffs, hands behind her back, her hair messy, still in her nightgown, the silk one, face pale, no makeup, mascara smeared from crying. She looked small, old, fragile. Then Claire, in pajamas, pink ones with snowflakes crying, sobbing mascara running down her face, shouting something I couldn't hear from across the street. Then Mark in a t-shirt and boxers looking like he might vomit, face green, shaking. All three handcuffs, perp walk cameras flashing from neighbors' phones. Mom saw me standing across the street, leaning against my car, hands in my pockets, watching. "David!" she screamed, her voice breaking raw. "David, help me! Call our lawyer. Please, David, please." I didn't move, didn't speak, didn't react, just watched. Claire saw me next. Her eyes went wide. "What did you do? David, what the fuck did you do?" Mark said nothing, just stared at the ground, defeated. An agent walked over to me, badge on his belt, FBI windbreaker gun at his hip. "Mr. Parker?" "Yes." "Special Agent Rodriguez. We spoke on the phone. Thank you for your cooperation. This is excellent work. 23 million in fraud, multiple federal charges, wire fraud, tax evasion, money laundering. This is going to be one of the biggest cases we've had this year. I'm glad I could help. We'll need your full statement later. 2 p.m. Federal Plaza. Bring ID. We'll have you in and out in a few hours. I'll be there." "You did the right thing. I know that doesn't make it easier, but you did the right thing." He walked back to the scene, coordinating with other agents, directing the arrest, taking photos, collecting evidence. Mom was still screaming, "David, please. We're your family. How could you do this to us, to your own mother?" Claire was being loaded into a vehicle FBI van, still crying, still shouting, struggling against the agents. Mark looked like he was in shock, just standing there handcuffed, staring at nothing. They loaded them into separate vehicles. FBI protocol, no contact between suspects, no communication, no coordination. Drove away, lights flashing, no sirens. Too early for sirens in a residential neighborhood. The house sat empty, front door open, agents still inside, collecting evidence, taking photos, documenting everything. Christmas tree still blinking through the window. Red, green, red, green. I got in my car, started the engine, drove home. Maya was in the kitchen, coffee brewing, still in her pajamas. Hair messy from sleep, yawning. "Where were you?" she asked, pouring coffee into 2 mugs. "I woke up and you were gone." "Took a drive. Needed to think, clear my head." "About what?" "Christmas plans. I think we should stay home this year, just us, no family." She turned around, smiled, walked over, hugged me. "Really? I thought you wanted me to meet your family. You've been talking about it for weeks." I changed my mind. "They're not worth it. They're not worth your time." "Are you sure? I don't want to be the reason you miss Christmas with your family." "You're not. Trust me. They're not worth knowing. We're better off just us." She hugged me tighter. "Just us sounds perfect. We can cook together, watch movies, stay in our pajamas all day." "Exactly." My phone buzzed in my pocket. News alert. 3 arrested in 23 million fraud scheme. Federal investigation ongoing. Mother, daughter, and son-in-law accused of decades-long government contract fraud. More arrests expected. I pulled out my phone, deleted the notification without reading the full article. "Everything okay?" Maya asked, looking at my face. "Perfect," I said, and for the first time in days I meant it.